Hello, hello, Aquarius. It is AD with kayxztarot, and I'm going to be doing your November mid-month general reading, alright? So, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Welcome if you're coming back, and welcome if you're new, alright? Update, I am still doing the $10 3-card reading. All the information for that is going to be in the description box below. You have to shoot me an email. And also my Instagram and all the decks that I use, all the crystals that I use, and shiznit like that, alright? So, without any further ado, Aquarius, I keep forgetting to say this. If my messages do not resonate, with you, they cannot resonate with everyone because these are such general readings, alright? And so I apologize in advance, but just keep in mind that there are so many other YouTube readers. Feel free to embark on that journey. I welcome it. You've stumbled upon some great people, some great personalities, and some other awesome readers, okay? So if this doesn't resonate with you, I apologize. But without any further ado, let's get into your reading, alright? Yeah, and I wanted to definitely say that, alright? You guys are closing out a cycle and beginning a new one, right? And we still are in Scorpio season, which is the season of death and rebirth. My personal New Year's, right? Because shit like this starts to happen. So we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck, and then when I split it, we have the World. So a lot of you guys are walking away from things, walking towards things, moving, grooving, kind of doing your own thing, and just completely entering a totally new chapter in life. That the cool thing is with the Magician being here, you have the power to manifest exactly what that is for you, as above, so below. So what is it that you are putting out in the universe that is being greeted back? But you totally have the tools to be successful in this new chapter. You kind of get like one of those things where, like, I'm imagining, like, not saying that it's going to be like the Hunger Games, but I'm imagining with the Hunger Games where you guys are kind of like have a head start to that little catacomb thing, where you get to pick your tools and stuff. And if you're not familiar with the Hunger Games, it's just basically you have a head start in picking your tools that you're going to use to take with you, okay? So you have like this jump start. So that's really, really awesome. Alright, so let's see what the cards have to say. Whoops. Nothing. Alright, because I can't shuffle. Alright. Alright, see, yeah, some of you guys are particularly on the beginning of a new financial front, alright, with this Page of Pentacles being here. Could be working towards studying, and some of you guys will be receiving messages about finances. But really what I'm getting is some of you guys are embarking on a new journey that's going to lead to some pretty stable finances and income that's coming in. And you guys are kind of putting in your work, you're learning about it. If you haven't started, then you're starting to do those research. You're starting to do the research for it to see what exactly you need in order to be successful. Okay? But with that Page card being there, and this might come and be unexpected, alright? This might be something completely out of nowhere that you were never expecting that you do in a million years, but it kind of came to you in a dream, or it came to you, or like something really just spoke to you, and you were like, oh fuck, now you're kind of beginning to rebuild. But the cool thing about it being in the Page of Pentacles, opposed to any other page, is the Page of Pentacles is probably the most mature of the Pentacles as far as just being stable and actually keeping to it, right? So this is something that can last over a period of time. It's just going to take work and patience, okay? Is what I'm getting. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Did I get all of them? Nope, I didn't. Alright. Give me a second. Sorry, Aquarius. Alright. Crop top thing that I have going on. Anyways. So yeah, okay, so this is kind of exactly what I was saying. Some of you guys are putting in that work and that effort to be, that bitch, right? With the Emperor card here. But this is work and patience and dedication, and making sure that you're keeping an eye, you're paying attention to detail. Some of you guys are really ignoring those around you to focus on the Emperor, okay? And then we had to focus on your craft, right? So you can take your craft and become the Emperor. So you can put in that work so you can be the boss. You can own your own business. You can run your own show, you can direct your own play or what have you. Can, do what it is that you want to do. Be the ruler of your kingdom and be the captain of your own ship, okay? And paired with the Lovers being here, could be connecting with the Gemini, but more so I'm imagining a decision. Like I said, this is something that came out of nowhere for a lot of you guys, this opportunity to kind of grow and expand. And so some of you guys are just faced with a decision and how you're going to go further, you know, how you're going to go with it. And if this does have to pertain to love, then I'm really just imagining if there's a soulmate energy that's going here, this person might be able to help you in your work, or you're leaving them behind for your work, is really what I'm getting with that particular card popping out, okay? Yeah, a few more shuffles, okay? Oops, yeah. That was a 4 of swords that just tried to pop out. And it's just really taking some time to reflect and think about yourself. Especially if that tower moment has happened, right, with you guys. You really have to take time and understand why it happened and what path it's putting you on, right? And so maybe that's where the Lovers comes in as far as that decision that's going to be made, all right? But we are splitting the deck. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we do have, in fact, Judgment, which is realization, okay? So again, a lot of you guys are really going to be presented with some decisions that you have to make because there's some things that were in the dark that are now being brought to light, okay? So you're having to use your intuition, use your logic, use your skills to understand how you're going to go forward. For some of you guys, it's a second chance. You know, this is a rebirth. We are still in Scorpio season, all right? So this is re-emerging, right? Being given a second chance and also shining light on certain situations that may have been in the dark, okay? So that's the underlying energy, right, for this reading. And then, okay, so at the heart of the reading, we do have the 4 of Swords, which I mentioned earlier. We have the 5 of Pentacles as the past foundation, excuse me. We have the Devil as the current situation, could be dealing with a Capricorn. We have the 7 of Swords. Oof, really interesting, Aquarius. Really, really interesting. We even have the 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck with Judgment. So some of you guys have found out that there has been some deceptiveness that has been going on behind your back, all right? And then we have the Page of Pentacles as the card of advice. So basically, if this does have to do with love, right off the rip, what the cards are telling me, with this Page of Pentacles being the advice, don't focus on this negativity. Don't focus on this negative energy. Start putting it into your craft. You know, start putting it, if you are creative of some sort, all right, this is time to take this experience and write it down. Take that experience and put it into your work. Build something, make something, learn something new, you know, to put that energy instead of sitting in this instead of sitting in this 4 of Swords moment. It's really asking you to take that and make it something tangible, all right? Take those emotions and make it tangible is what I'm getting, okay? Right, so we have the 4 of Swords, which I kind of already touched on and talked about. It's basically just really taking some time to reflect. A lot of you guys did go through a revelation of some sorts, okay? Realization. If it wasn't necessarily a tower tragic moment where everything was, you know, burn, 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 die, die, die. It wasn't necessarily that, but, you know, for all of you guys. But either way, you guys did go through something where you learned something new about somebody else or about yourself, and you're learning how to deal with that. You're really in this kind of pensive state to think about what exactly is it that I was supposed to learn from this experience, okay? And then with the 5 of Pentacles being the card of foundation, some of you guys have been out in the cold and been left out in the cold or been leaving other people in the cold. You've really been taking some time. There's just, all of these cards are solitude, right? All of these cards are alone. So you guys have really taken the stance to be alone and kind of figure out what it is that you're going to do is really what I'm getting. Especially if you've been through something as emotional as this 3 of Swords, okay? And then following that, we did, in fact, have your energy popping up with this King of Swords here. So you guys have detached from a lot of things and a lot of people, even from people that you've loved and liked. And I think that you guys are coming to terms with that you might have cut some people out and left some people out in the cold that you didn't intend to, you know? And so some of you guys might be regretting how you handled your emotions in the past. And so now you're being confronted with what you're going to do with them in the future. And the advice could be to build a new stable relationship and start looking at things from a different lens, okay? And I love a nasty Aquarius, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Aquarius. I have Aquarius placement in my chart. I'm a cusper, you know, so I'm a borderline Aquarius. And my Mercury's in Aquarius, so I completely understand this King of Swords energy. I really, really do. But sometimes I've noticed that Aquarius can have an issue with not communicating, but just kind of like allowing themselves to forgive people. And I've noticed that within me. So this isn't necessarily a critique, it's just an observation that I made that maybe some of you guys are becoming aware of. That like if somebody does something that you don't necessarily like, you're real quick to use the sword and cut it out and cut it off instead of actually dealing with what happened. And so sometimes with that, you know, all or nothing mentality, you can end up losing people that you didn't intend to lose because maybe it was just a miscommunication. Maybe you just didn't understand each other at the same time. And so there's just the practice of the art of forgiveness that is happening because there is second chances that are happening, right? And so it's just practicing the art of forgiveness, practicing the art of misunderstanding and just being like, you know what, I didn't agree with you then, and it really did hurt me, but that doesn't necessarily mean that our entire friendship is tainted. It doesn't mean that I need to, you know, throw the whole thing away based off of one thing, you know. And Aquarius tend to operate that way because they are the genius of the Zodiac. And so some of the times they're really right on a logical perspective. You know, they are the most evolved. You are the most evolved of that masculine energy. But sometimes you need to tap into that Pisces energy, that step further, that brings emotion back into the situation. Okay, so logically, if somebody fucks you over, then they fuck you over, and point blank period, cut out, on to the next one, right? But sometimes they didn't mean to fuck you over. Sometimes it had nothing to do with you. You just happened to be a piece in their particular journey. It's nothing personal to you. And so that's kind of what I'm getting to. Take that in mind for these people that you've cut out in the cold, because you might be feeling more isolated than ever because your defenses were so high, your sword was so ready to swing that you kind of started cutting everybody at the neck. And now you're in this pensive state where you're like, should I... You know, how should I move? How should I be moving forward? You know, now that I've kind of cut so many people out, it's kind of like an energy that I might be getting, especially with the present energy being the devil. All right, so a lot of you guys are being held down by past toxic relationships or toxic patterns is really what I'm getting. You know, just some really toxic patterns, some toxic habits that should be reevaluated. All right. You know, I always say, I taught some little kids, for a little bit, and I just love the motto that the school had, and it was make a different choice. It wasn't make a better choice, it was just make a different choice. If you do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And so now I really think that Spirit is challenging you to make different choices instead of being slave to your old patterns and your own habits. You know, there's no need. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing, you know, and that is something that Aquarius, I believe y'all are a fixed sign. And so sometimes you're just like, if that's how I see it, that's how I see it. I'm not willing to see anything else. But with the Devil card appearing as this present energy after the Five of Pentacles, right? I really think that it's time to start making different choices and starting to reevaluate how do you handle Three of Swords moments. You know, what are some new things that you can practice? You know, opposed to just using that sword because it's so comfortable and it's so easy for you. But that doesn't work all the time, right? You know, I personally believe, and you can, please don't blast me for it in the comments, but, you know, we can have a conversation, I guess. I don't know if I just played with fire. But it's just like, I personally believe that people don't really want to be alone. You know, it's not a part of the human experience to just be alone. Obviously, sometimes you need to take time to reflect and recover. And I'm the main one to wake up and be like, I'm just not having it today, you know. But when tomorrow comes, chances are I'm going to want somebody to talk to, you know. I'm going to want to share what I learned when I was alone. I'm going to want to appreciate that. And so I'm really sensing with this Devil card being here, there's just a tie to some poor habits, okay? I don't want to use bad. I really don't want to use bad. But some habits that need some re-evaluating, okay? Is what I'm getting. And then the most likely outcome we have is the deceptive energy with this Seven of Swords being here. You know, this is somebody who's trying to exit a situation kind of quietly in the middle of the night. Could be cheating, but I'm seeing somebody get out of a situation and not really talk about it. You know, like just making a quick and hasty exit. Excuse me so much. I'm going to clarify. Why is the Seven of Swords here, please? Interesting combination. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords that popped out, which is like this defensive energy. You know, this is a guy who's been through it. You know, man, I've been through it, and like he's bandaged. You know, he's been bruised. He's very much in like this super defensive state, but he's ready. You know, if somebody else comes up on him, he might be tired, but he'll muster up that last bit of oomph that he has to really kind of stick that knife in and really defend himself. Like, he's not going to go out without a fight, even though he kind of is on the latter half of this battle. He would hope no more enemies appear, you know, because he's tired. So he's just kind of like, huh? But like, if you do roll up on him, he's just like, I got something for your ass. It's kind of like what I'm getting. And so there's a secrecy that is happening here. There's a deceptive energy that's happening here, and it could be you deceiving yourself. You know, you deceiving that you have more energy left in you than you do. You know, you might be tired, and you might not even be evaluating that you're tired, or that you're exhausted, or that you might need to reevaluate, or that you actually don't like being alone. Because even this guy is in solitude. You know, he's still alone. All of these cards are solitary except for Misery, which loves company. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's not really what I think you guys are gunning for, but I think that that's what's happened just because the defenses have been so high, right? But, okay, now I'm happy that this Four of Wands popped out, because there is happiness on this horizon. Maybe even leaving the situation, leaving behind this defensive nature, opening up, coming back, returning to family, returning to loved ones, returning to friends, coming out of the cold is really going to lead to a more stable beginning with this Page of Pentacles. Putting your effort and your heart into work and building a steady foundation, opposed to being slave to old habits of being super defensive, okay, and keeping this detached, you know, energy that's here. There is happiness here. There is happiness. I really don't try to do doomsday readings, even though it could seem like that with this pairing, but it's really not, because at the end of the day, you have free will. You have absolute free will, so you can always choose the existence that you want to live. It's just a matter of, are you going to continue down the path that you are doing, or are you going to start making different choices and trying new things, okay? Because, like I said, I personally don't want to be alone. Like, I've never, not that I'm needy or clingy or any of that thing, it's just that, like, when I realize that I've isolated myself, sometimes it crosses my mind, like, oh man, I really didn't mean to isolate myself this bad. I don't have anybody to talk to, because I didn't, you know, Sarah, I don't talk to her anymore, because she fucking, you know, she said we're going to go to ice cream at 3, and she didn't come at 5:30, so fuck her. Tony, I want to text him, but you know, he didn't text me back within 3 days, so I guess he figured out one friend, so fuck him. You know, then you start looking around, and you're just like, fuck. Maybe I overreacted a tad, right? That's kind of, I don't know if any of you guys watch Ozark. I don't want to give it away. But anyways, there's this scene where this character, boom, this character, she has a nasty exchange with one of the other characters, and she ends up shooting him in the fucking face. Like, she just blows his fucking brains out. And, I use she in here, sorry. But anyway, she ends up blowing his fucking brains out. And then after, you know, the mess has to be cleaned up, she's just like, well, I may have overreacted a tad. That's kind of what I'm getting. We're like, well, I might have overreacted a tad. Maybe. With this Judgment card being here. This could be the revelation that's happening for you. A tad. Okay? Let's see. Earth. Then we had Capricorn. And we had Saturn. Okay, so, these weren't the cards that came out. But there's a groundedness right? A healing. When I see earth, there's self-care, nurturing, and a groundedness. If you've been so stuck in your head, it's time to come back to earth and look at things from a practical manner. Okay, we definitely have Capricorn here, and we had Saturn earlier. So some of you guys could be dealing with the Capricorn, or it's just asking you, what do you have? What do you have, and what are you planning to do with it? Okay, how are you going to use what you have to get what you want in the long run? All right, and are you on the right path to get exactly what you want? It's really asking you to be quite practical and how you decide to move forward with this Page of Cups. It's asking you to adopt a more grounded energy instead of being heady all the time. You know, it's asking you to step outside of yourself and learn how to work with the earth, learn how to work with, you know, self-care, luxury, kind of material things in order to not necessarily be materialistic, but just understand that it does exist and be grounded instead of having your heads in the cloud. It's time to put your feet on the ground and be realistic with yourself, okay? Really, truly have that conversation with yourself. Do you like what you're doing? Do you like where you're going? Instead of being so defensive about it, let your guard down. And it doesn't have to be with anyone else but you. You know, to truly ask yourself those questions. Are you moving in the right direction? And then we have the Capricorn energy here too. That's what I'm saying with this Devil card, you know, paired with it. And the Capricorns are just really, you know, really practical, really grounded, really look at a situation and see what can they do with it to get, you know, how can they get out of it? And they're really kind of stubborn and stuck in like their ways. And so that's something that Aquarius and Capricorns kind of share, is that stubbornness, right? That goat. And then Saturn didn't pop out. But Saturn is a hard teacher, right? So when you see Saturn, he's really stern and strict, right? Like he's not the guy who's going to He's not the guy who's going to give you that, he's not the teacher who's going to give you that curve. He's going to give you a 45 and be like, well, you should study harder next time. And so that's kind of where he is. So if there's any placements with Saturn, especially when it has to do with friends or finances or any of that stuff, it's a really hard, strict lesson. And it goes with Capricorns too, you know. So there's a hard lesson, but there's a happy ending, you know. Now you got that 45 on that test. Now you've really gone home and you studied, and you're going to make a different choice than you did last time. And now you're going to get that 105. You know, you're even going to get the bonus. And now Saturn's going to give you, you know, a high five and be like, wow, that was absolutely great. Okay, so that's really what I'm getting. And then I got Cancer. So some of you guys are kind of, again, secluded. Know how he's at the bottom of the ocean and really getting in tune with his emotions. All right, so when I see that Cancer card, that interestingly enough, these are opposites. Now I'm looking at it. Because Cancers is like the matriarch of the Zodiac, and then you have the patriarch, which is Capricorn. So some of you guys are kind of at odds at your feminine and your masculine energy, right? And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where I was just really like, take that step further. You've done the whole masculine thing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a men basher or a men hater, all right? I'm not that way, but it's just, you know, sometimes just like females and feminine energy have to tap into that masculine energy, it's time for you to tap into a more feminine energy, because you've been handling everything in a very masculine manner. And it's just, and universe is just asking you to make a different choice. All right, and this is my newest oracle deck. It's called Moonology by Yasmin, Boland. I absolutely love it. I'm going to start incorporating it into my readings because I love the messages. So you'll be seeing it, but I just want to let everybody know what it is, you know, what it is, or what's up. You know, anybody know this song? Alright, 3, 2, 1. Alright. We have nothing is yet set in stone as the bottom of the deck. All right, so there is changing. That's what I'm saying. Don't always hold on to your opinions and your conclusions. All right, it's not that you're necessarily wrong, but you're not right either. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no wrong or right. You're just figuring things out, letting things flow, letting things come as they go. All you know is what you have, right? You don't know what you have is going to turn into. So you can't out Aquarius yourself and be like, I already know what's going to happen because I've seen this before. You really don't. You know, we don't really have any control. And I have an issue with that sometimes. I'm just like, I've seen this. You know, especially when I kind of dabble with some of my psychic energy where, you know, where that's a raven, okay? A lot of people think that I look like her. I used to look just like her when I was a child. But like, that's a raven, how she used to have these visions, and then she used to try to fix it, but in doing so, she would end up creating the exact problem that she was trying to prevent. That is kind of what's happening. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. With nothing is yet set in stone. So just because you saw it happen one day, you don't know what spirit is doing. You don't know what is happening on the other end of it that could put you on a completely different trajectory. And this is why I love these cards, because I love them anyways. So we have, don't let pride get in your way. Boom. I don't feel like I even need to, I don't even feel like I need to describe that, because that's just what I've been saying. So I'm going to leave that for you. Don't let pride get in your way. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And then we have be bold and make the first move. And for some of you guys, it's, you know, work. It's reaching out to people. But for other of you guys, it's putting down your guard and your defensive and your defenses and apologizing. For some of you guys, it's apologizing, being like, man, I kind of misinterpreted that situation. I let my pride get in the way. Now I'm going to make a different choice, okay? I'm going to make a different choice because I really want this Four of Wands. I really want this Four of Wands moment. And I've just been holding on, right? I've just been holding on to these past grudges, but now I want to release them. I want to release them, and I want to look at things in a new way. I want to look at things in a new light. It's that type of conversation that I'm sensing. All right. Then one last card from this oracle, from the oracles. Inspiration we have. Which I love. Okay, so that's for some of you guys. Like I said, some of you guys are going to put this experience that you have into a creative experience, okay? Some of you guys should be inspired to make different choices. I don't know. That's just such a great phrase. I say it to my friends all the time, and you're probably going to hear it in a lot of my readings because it's just such a great philosophy. Because it's not wrong. It's not even like you have to make, quote, the right choice. It's just do something different. Right, and 3. Woo! My hands are so small for this deck. That's why I struggle so hard with it. Transmutation. And trust. Alright. But transmutation. Alright. So this card is taking something. This is taking something and turning it into something else. So you could be taking a negative situation and turning it into a positive situation. This is taking a rock and turning it into a diamond. Alright. And that's really what I'm sensing. That's why this, even though it seemed like I don't want it to be a doomsday thing, it's really just, how are you going to take this rock that you feel like you have and turn it into a diamond? There is faith. There is trust in the universe. Trust that it is going to work out the way that you think it is. As long as you learn those lessons from Saturn and you actually studied for the test this time, you will be able to take that 45 and you will be able to turn it to 105. As long as you just make a different choice, you study a little different this time. You start doing those different things. So if you have a negative situation, or you had a friendship or a relationship that went sour, now it's time to be bold. Make that first move. Don't let pride get in your way. Make a different choice, alright? Tap into that feminine energy and make it a diamond, alright? Because you fucking got it, Aquarius. You really do. Welcome to the new year, right? Scorpio season isn't necessarily fun. I love it, but it's not necessarily a fun season, okay? But Happy New Year's to you guys, alright? So I'm excited. Please let me know. Please continue to support. Please let me know if it resonated in the comment section below. Don't forget about that $10 special, y'all. And, yeah. Mwah, much love.